Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber, and this email is from a young guy. He's a different part of the world. He's from Asia, and he's in what he describes as a third world country. His words, not mine. And this whole email, he talks about how basically in his country, it is pretty much a given that people get married, and they also get married at a very young age. I'm talking like 22 years old. And basically, it's done where the husband, he obviously is in charge of providing not only for his own family, the wife and the kids that he has, but also his parents, okay? And basically, having kids is almost like the retirement plan, because then the kids take care of the parents, because obviously it's a poor country. And you're going to see here as I go through this guy, as it turns out, he's going against his culture and religion and traditions, because guess what? He's not interested in that, at least not now. He's not interested in getting married or anything like that. And also more guys in his country that he knows, other guys aren't interested as well. So you're seeing a turn of the tide, so to speak, in values, because it isn't just happening here in the West. And when I say the West, I don't mean like the western part of the United States. I'm talking about Western culture. More guys are waking up to realize this is just not what it's cracked up to be, and they'd rather be single, or at least they would rather just do relationships but not be legally bound, okay? And so I'm going to go through this here. It's an interesting story to see what it's like on the other side of the world, coming from a culture where it is expected that you get married. Because this guy is definitely having family, extended family, and certain friends, pressure him about this, but he's just simply not interested, okay? And I'm going to encourage him, as I do any of you guys, to do what's best for you, because life is short. But it is a different ball game in a country where obviously the culture is you go by a certain way, okay? That's why I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about the top 20 things you need to do if you must get married, because I know guys that follow me, they may understand what I'm talking about, but because, again, their religion, their culture, tradition, they know either if they feel they have to do it anyway, or part of them wants it. So I gave advice in that video to help guys out if they're going to do it, to help minimize potential drama and damage if problems arise. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to go through a story here. It's interesting getting the take on it from a different side of the world. So it starts off, "Hey there, SSM. I just want to tell you that I'm truly grateful for the effort in videos telling us men about the right things to do and consider, especially ones that even I didn't know myself, despite how strong my conviction to my personal policies are until I stumbled upon your channel and others like yours." Well, you're welcome, bro. I'm really glad to help. "I am a 28-year-old male, born and living in a third world country, so I apologize if there are any weird grammar here and there. Where one of its popular features are its women, and are still perceived as being demure and still traditional. A country with a very strong religious connection, but for a lot of times it felt like only doing it when it's convenient." Well, that's kind of everywhere, honestly. "My younger years were pretty normal. I had a girlfriend here and there, but hookups were definitely very rare and didn't happen until college because of said strong religious beliefs. As a lot of women here believe that they should only lose their first to their husband, though there is still promiscuity, especially from the larger cities." Well, that most certainly is rare. But, a lot of guys talk about how obviously Asia is kind of like the last hope, in terms of a lot of guys end up meeting women overseas in Asia, and they end up taking them back because they have traditional values. Okay, not all Asia, but a lot of Asian women seem to be a lot more traditional, more feminine, because the evil, like lack of a better term, of the feminist movement hasn't impacted that society yet. And let's hope it keeps that way. "This was definitely quite pleasing for me, as that meant I could find a good wife who'd be loyal to me. However, being unlucky in terms of the gene pool," and he says my height is 5'3", "the girls I was able to date eventually left me for better looking, taller men." Well, dude, that sucks, but unfortunately, there is nothing you can do about your height. That is just how nature designed you to be. Guys, we can't do anything about our height. We can't do anything about, like, if we start balding. I mean, obviously, there's things that can be used to help with the process, but generally, can't do much of that. We can't help in terms of our facial features. We can do some things like grow beards, but the height thing you can't do anything about. But you can do things, guys, and this goes for anybody, not just the guy writing this, other things to make yourself stand out, to improve yourself. Just because someone is short doesn't mean they can't be in damn good shape. or just because someone is short doesn't mean they can't have other good features about themselves. Keep themselves thin, dressing well, looking well, taking care of themselves physically to help make up for that area. But I've known guys that are short guys, but a lot of them are in fantastic shape. They're really jacked because they realize, hey, I can't be tall, so I'm going to be strong and jacked. And they look fantastic. And also, I've known guys that were short, but these guys were very masculine, tough guys, even though they were perceived because of their height as not being that way, okay? Some of the most in-your-face alpha males I've met are short dudes, okay? So it's all about attitude and how you feel about yourself. He goes on, after several of these, in terms of girls leaving him for taller, better-looking dudes, after several of these, I frankly just got tired and started to focus more on my hobbies that I left behind when I started working. And I started working doing such as drawings, going back to things I used to enjoy like games, and also as expected, I started to pile up cash and savings. Translation, I stopped dating as much, and because I wasn't dating and constantly out there trying to woo and impress girls, he's starting to save a bunch of money. Isn't that amazing? You guys would be amazed. For those of you guys that are younger and obviously you're dating, hooking up and all that, left and right as much as you can because, your hormones are going crazy, you'd be amazed how much money you can save in a short period of time by not dating 3 or 4 different women. I mean, if you want to do that, knock yourself out, have a good time. That's fine with me. But be aware, you're going to spend a lot of money in the process unless you are so desirable, you can keep the dates cheap, or better yet, get her to pay and have fun that way. But you're going to spend a lot of money. After a few years of that, and I built that presence that I do have more worth than just my height, and was definitely getting more attention from women. Isn't that amazing? So the guy was focusing, I'm being sarcastic there because I know that's what's going to happen. The guy stopped chasing after women. He started focusing on himself, his interests, his hobbies, what made him happy. He started saving money. He was feeling good about himself. Also the fact that because this guy is obviously a little bit older than most guys at his age are married already, he's feeling good, he's feeling happy. Guys, when you feel good about yourself and you're feeling successful and you got good things going, you're going to have that vibe that's going to be attracted to people. And people are going to want to talk to you and be around you. And it's definitely going to attract women. Okay? And, I've heard the statistic that at least 70% of all communication is body language. Maybe it's even more. You guys can look up the statistic. I have not looked that up yet, but I know it's around 70% or so. Another big chunk is tone of voice. Here comes the daily sirens. And very little is what you say. So if you're feeling good about yourself, about things you've accomplished and done, it's going to show up in your body language. It's going to show up in how you talk and you carry yourself. And that is going to naturally catch attention of people, especially the opposite sex, okay? If you have shitty body language, it shows that you're shy and embarrassed and unsure of yourself. People can pick it up like that, especially women. And this doesn't surprise me that women are starting to notice it. I still don't feel like going for it though. Again, I'm just tired of dealing with relationships after knowing what they're like. I get berated by friends and quite a number of family members, extended family, for not even planning to settle down, scaring me with warnings that I'll regret it in the future and that no one will take care of me or something similar. You see, that is what they know. That's what your friends and that's what your family know because that's the culture, okay? Most people in this world are sheep, and they're going to go along with what the rest of the herd is doing. It's rare that people actually stand out and go their own in spite of what people are saying that they should be doing, okay? So bravo to you, sir, for doing what you know is best for you. I mean, a lot of people that follow me here are definitely on a different path than the masses, and I'm sure a lot of guys watching me right now, I'm sure you'll admit it in the comment section, that people are probably giving you a hard time. Why aren't you settling down? Why aren't you getting married? Why aren't you doing what everybody else does? It's hard to do that. So good for you and good for anybody else that is strong enough to do what they feel is best for them. Because most people don't. And what he's describing here, guys, if you are also on your own path, get used to this. Family, friends, because not everybody that's married has kids is miserable. Not everybody, but a lot are very unhappy in varying degrees. And as the saying goes, misery loves company. So anyhow, he says, the thing is, this country has had the bad habit that I noticed where kids are sort of your retirement plan. A lot of people the same age as I am are pretty much providing for their family, some even providing not only for their parents, but also for their wives and kids. Luckily, my folks are pretty level-headed, especially my ma, who supported me and my siblings all the way, whatever our decisions were. My pa was a serial cheater, though, so the family was held back up by my mom. Well, your mom sounds like an awesome lady, so give her a big hug. Even after I decided to ignore said extended family, completely because they're constant, annoying, sometimes considered rude by this country's culture of strong family ties. I'd say it's too much meddling, though. What else are they going to do? They got nothing else to do with their time, because everything's to them, it's about family and culture, and they want grandkids and great nieces and nephews, and you're going against the herd. And you're doing what probably a lot of them wish they did when they were younger, but didn't have the strength to do. So, of course, I did a video yesterday about a guy and his wife were on a workout plan. They were going to lose weight, and the guy started losing all this weight, and everybody else noticed it, was complimenting him, but his wife was having very little results, and she started giving him a hard time and trying to sabotage his progress and making him feel bad. This is his wife, okay? Someone that I'm going to emphasize, should be cheering him on for his progress. Nope. She's trying to sabotage it because she's jealous. She's jealous that he's having the progress and she's not. She's jealous that the other people, her friends, other women, are noticing this and feeling threatened, okay? So, at the end of the day, human nature is human nature, and jealousy and envy is going to happen even with the people that shouldn't be that way. So just be aware of this. He goes on, knowing all this, I wonder why then would I want to start a family if it meant losing all my time and being unable to progress. Old friends that have kids look miserable even if they claim they're happy. That happens all the time. And dude, that isn't just in your country. That's all over the world. That's here, okay? I got plenty of friends, not all, but I got plenty of friends that are married, and at best, maybe they are, the guys and their wives, they're it's like a friendship, basically, like kind of like roommates. I'm sure they hook up from now and again, to other ones that just look miserable. And the guys that have kids, they're just tired all the time. I started noticing that when a lot of my friends started having small children, they just looked exhausted all the time. And oftentimes they were, even if they did well for themselves financially, still they were spending so much money on all this bullshit with the kids and all that stuff. They weren't that, they loved their kid, don't get me wrong, but they weren't happy like they were when they were single. But misery loves company, and they were certainly trying to get me to have kids, believe me. It goes on. But these guys constantly post on social media stuff like, I can't get tired, I have a mouth to feed. People who even go into debt just to feed their families. That sucks. That is a vicious cycle. Maybe I don't understand the joys of having one, but I certainly won't bring a kid into this earth if I'm not willing to take care of one thoroughly. This country has a lot of street kids going about, and you got to wonder where the hell are their parents. Well, probably the parents have to work to provide, and the kids have no parents around to keep an eye on them, and so they're out on the street getting into trouble. Even if these kids do have even if they don't have parents, a lot of them probably don't have parents, and that's really a shame. He says, it's not like I don't have the means to raise one. I'm certainly well off, but still, I'm at the point where I think the reason our country still sucks in the third world, aside from the rampant corruption, is that the kids aren't even able to pursue success, and in turn, wealth and progress for their country. Vicious cycle, and I guarantee you there are a lot of people in power that want to keep it that way, so that their small percentage can basically rule, and everybody else is scraping for... getting the table scraps and at the bottom, okay? It's unfortunate. But you, sir, you are different, and you can make a difference in your life, one way or another. If you try to do it in your country, it's going to be an uphill battle, guaranteed, against tradition and values and all that, and people that are obviously jealous. But maybe one day you might get out of there and immigrate to a different country where you have a lot more opportunities. You're not held back because of things like what you describe in your country. Something to consider, because you are definitely different. Goes on here. They even think it's normal to settle down as soon as you hit a certain age, regardless if they have the financial capability to do it or not. Some even settle as early as 22, and when things don't turn out well, they can't even divorce because it's not allowed in this country. Props to the dads that have truly made it their life raising their kids, though, so hope that they're truly happy. Hey, there are people that have families, that have kids, and they may be tired all the time, and they may be, pinching pennies or not far from that, but they do love their kids, and they are happy with that. Okay, there are some, don't get me wrong, but they definitely are tired and worn out and all that. I am still stuck to that personal policy to this day, ignoring all the chiding of my other friends about settling down. I then stumbled upon your channel one day during the lockdown, and damn, it felt good to see that I'm actually not being silly. It really flabbergasted me to know how different it is over there, especially how the girls act. Dude, I'm glad you're in a country where women are more traditional and haven't been impacted by the feminist movement and all that, but you wouldn't believe what it's like over here. Good Lord. The sense of entitlement, the sense of just basically been molded to behave and act like men. I mean, I can go on. I've done it obviously in other videos, but at least you got more traditional feminine women over there. That's a plus. And I will to bet you they're probably thin. Over here, you got such a large chunk of the population that are overweight and let themselves go. You can't go anywhere here without seeing overweight people. You know, there's a lot of things that impact that, but at least over there you got thin, pretty feminine women, at least a decent chunk. He says, a lot of your videos taught me a lot of things that I got called out on several times for not doing, such as treating a girl like a princess or putting more effort to get a girl. Even if your videos confirm it made them pursue me more because I cared less, as silly as it seemed. Dude, women are women around the world. What they respond to emotionally is the same thing. It doesn't make a difference what country they are, what their religion is, where they are in the socioeconomic scale, their education. It's the same way that men are men around the world. We're going to respond to what we respond to. So once you understand that and understand a lot of these things, you are way ahead of the pack, okay? Guaranteed. And like what he just said there, when he didn't care, that's when they pursued him. That's why you got to focus on your purpose, your goals, your ambitions, things that make you happy, making you the best man you can be. And then you're going to have all these things. You're going to be way ahead of the pack. And also, I might add, you're going to be feeling so good about yourself and you're not going to have any kind of attachments. You're going to be indifferent. And it's amazing when you're like that, that gains attention because you're just relaxed and you can care less. So you can start talking to a pretty girl, and if she likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't, she doesn't. You don't give a shit. You say you are your real authentic self and you say what you mean what you say. And a lot of them will like that because a lot of guys will be trying to impress them and kiss their ass and put them on a pedestal, treat them like a princess. You're not doing that. You're just being yourself. That's it. And will that make every woman like you? No. But a lot will. They'll see you being different. And this, of course, is advice and tips for guys that actually want that. For the rest of you guys that are just, you're done with women, well, okay. You can tuck that away in case you ever change your mind. Through your channel, I've seen other similar ones, and I just want to say it felt really good to know I'm not being paranoid. I tell you, I haven't cultivated my drawing and illustrating to the point where I earned from it years ago. The lockdowns would have hit me harder, but it turned out more than all right. Can't say the same for some friends with several kids that were already barely making it by. I truly appreciate the lessons that you've been sharing them with I truly appreciate the lessons and have been sharing them with the closest of my friends with similar life choices. See, he's not the only one that is on this, going his own way, so to speak, okay? And, dude, hang out with those guys, okay? Because those are the guys, they're not going to nag you and give you a hard time because you don't want to get married or settle down and have kids. And I'm going to hope that these are the guys that are trying to improve their lives. Hang out with people that are going to help bring you up, not bring you down, okay? And you can also rub off on them because it looks like you're doing what you can to have a better life than most of the people in your country. He says they too felt good that we're not actually being silly and not settling down. I want to make it clear I have nothing against folks who do want to settle down, but as I've said, I sure hope they are truly happy. Yeah, wish them the best, but it's not for you. And it closes him saying, just a little piece of advice from an Asian guy though. A lot of times I see Western men choosing women from my country as wise because of their strong traditional feminine values. And I'm quite proud to say, yes, many of them still are, and I hope said guys are happy. But please know that there's also a sizable portion that just want a green card or a better way of life away from the third world country. Several of them will be good, loyal wives, I think, but Western men should just keep that in mind. More power to you, SSM, and keep spreading the message. Well, dude, that was a great email, and I appreciate you sending that. And I think it's awesome you're doing what's best for you in spite of the backlash from the family and friends that are in the situation they don't want to be. Get used to it. It's not going to stop. But definitely hang out with the other guys that are like you in the opinion and the mind and the way you're going, okay? And do your absolute best. My advice to you, You said you're 28, you're still young. Keep doing what you're doing in that regard, but also keep doing things to better yourself. Keep educating yourself in every way, shape, and form. Don't just watch my channel, watch other channels. When you have free time, watch things on YouTube that can teach you things about money and other things you can get skills in to help set yourself apart and save that money and grow it and be smart about it. And don't fall for the trap of being impacted by the family or friends. Now, if down the road you change your mind and you feel like maybe you do want to have a family, okay, fine, but do it on your own terms. And again, distance yourself from the people that are going to try to sway you or sabotage your progress. And as I said earlier in the video, if you get to... Sorry about the rain, guys. It's raining here, and maybe you might be able to hear it on your end, but this is the only time I got a chance to film a video, so be it. But anyhow, dude, do what's best for you, and what the hell was I going to say? I lost my train of thought because of the goddamn rain. In a nutshell, do what's best for you. Yes. If you reach a point that basically you feel like you are plateaued in terms of what you can accomplish in your culture, consider maybe immigrating to someplace else that you have a lot more opportunities to better yourself, because a guy like you can do very well. I can just tell by the way you write and just gut feeling I have about people, I think you could do very well. You could do well here, but look into your options. But anyhow, great email. Wish you all the best, bro. Let me know down the road how you're doing. I'd like to really hear about it. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.